There is nothing. Only warm primordial blackness. Your conscious ferments in it. No larger than a single grain of malt. You don't have to do anything anymore. Ever. Never, ever. Never, ever, ever, baby. An inordinate amount of time passes. It is utterly void of struggle. No ex-wives are contained within it.
An awareness creeps up on you. A mass lies hidden in your dead angle, soaking in some lurid acidic sauce. It's bloated and shameful.
Ex-love, ex-tenderness. It is foolish of you to resurface to the loss. Not after all the damage you've suffered to get here. Some of it irreversible. Stay. Sail with me through the abyss of pelagic zone. Do you really?
You wouldn't like it if I told you what was back there. Why'd you think you had to bludgeon yourself into oblivion? Or did you not sense yourself? Yes, your one disco mother.
Somewhere in the sore, bloated man-meat around you. A sensation. Like a fly to the ointment, your conscience sticks to it. The limbed and headed machine of pain and undignified suffering is firing up again. It wants to walk the desert, hurting.
The stench of liquor rises from your mouth, and with it, an ungodly headache. A fiery streak penetrates your skull, trying to force your eyes open. It's a sound.
Somehow, you know what it is. A caprice commanding vertigo. This fan has two chain pull switches. One ends in a tiny fan, the other in a light bulb. A truly horrific necktie has somehow attached itself to one of the blades. You reach out to grab the tie, but what's this? Diffuse radiant. This is bad. Feels like sharp stones grind for quite a long, still ongoing. Finally, the pressure recedes. You know what you should do. You should stop the fan and then try again. Do it if you want to die. The stabbing pain in your chest is telling you you're hanging by a thread here. The blades come squeaking to a halt. It should be easier to reach the tie now. You swoop up and catch the tie. Snap. It's released from the blade. What you have in your hand is a truly hideous necktie, with 4 or 5 different... A terrible mistake. Turn the lights off immediately. You can practically feel the photons, but your eyes burn with photosensitivity. It's not. The lights are off again. A mirror hangs above a bent and broken sink. In a fierce discharge of masculine energy, was this not the same Elon that founds empires and lays waste to cities? Virile, uncaring towards the little things? Probably not, no. Hot water sprays from the faucet's base, and steam comes. Suddenly, you realize you have no memory of the face that awaits you there, underneath the soft vapor. Really, all recollection of the person you are, the people in your life, and even the world you're in has drowned in a sea of blood alcohol. This was no mere night of drinking. It was a deluge of world-ending proportions. Really, all recollection of the person you are, the people in your life, and even the world you're in has drowned in a sea of blood as you slowly reach your hand toward abort. You clearly have not thought this through. You won't like what you see there, and you will never unbecome it. Yeah, there is definitely something wrong with it. Where to even begin? There is the bloatedness, then the swollenness. It's like this. It's not. Your nose feels like a small balloon in the middle of your face. It hurts when you honk it. It doesn't appear to be a particularly tiny nose. It's not. It's swollen and Behold. You have no idea who this thing is, do you? Whatever it is, at least it's dead now. There's clearly rigor mortis on your face. Oh wait, is that an expression? Are you trying to make an expression with that face? Please stop. It's horrible. You can't, can you? It's like it's not even What does it even mean? What is the emotion you're trying to convey? Please promise yourself you are not going to try it on any of the You liar. You can't even tell the truth to yourself. Go ahead. Try something. It's too late. Like an image on film. The expression belongs to your primary motor cortex. It would take a minor neurological miracle for you to see. It belongs in the third decade of the current century. Enough time had passed from the failure of the revolution that, for a fleeting moment, free market economy seemed like the ultimate, uncontested way of life. For hours, things were good. It was smooth sailing. People made gold in for Revachol, your city. That meant only one thing. Guillaume le Million. If it doesn't rhyme, you're not pronouncing it right. Out of the dazzling swirl of disco music, in an open-air boîte de nuit, somewhere in Revachol West, Guillaume's blonde mane appeared on the screen. He sang some bullshit. Then he made the expression. You have some understanding of the near history of disco. The rest is darkness, aside from the useless fact that the motor carriage outside was a Caprice Canema. Everyone loved it. Maybe you thought some of the stardust would rub off on you. Maybe it did. Either way, it's all gone now. Only the grimace remains. The click is used to spur on a horse. It also features heavily in Guillaume Le Million's regional mega hit, Don't Worry, Your Pretty Little Head. Some 20-odd years. There is a vast ocean of time between right now and the expression. Looking good on you, or anyone. Humanity has run aground in that time. It's a different world now. The expression is a relic. It doesn't have to be. You can swoon over Guillaume and his champagne-corked smile whenever you want to. Maybe some of the stardust will return. Still not happening. It won't come off that easy. You hear a jingle. Keys are it says whirling in rags on the aluminium keyring. The whirling in rags is a hostel cafeteria. window stands broken in its frame. Cold wind blows in. The morning light hurts your eyes. It's hazy, but you see the ocean and some war-torn buildings. The shards face outward. Whatever broke this window came from the inside. A fine web of scarring covers the back of your right hand, more likely a projectile than a held object. There are no fragments on the floor from pulling a tool back in after. It is too large for a bullet, yet too small for a piece of furniture. The single green shoe you found fits the hole almost as well as your foot. It would have also been heavy enough. Congratulations. You smashed the window with your own shoe. Now you only have one. If you're lucky, you could still find the other. You mean someone else took your shoe off and smashed the window with it? This person also forced the drinks on you. A cool wind gushes in. Your toes curl up from the cold. There they both are, two identical shoes, both copiously green and indiscriminately snakeskin, reunited on your feet. Like two baby crocodiles. Go ahead, just as long as you don't.
Hello, officer.
The young woman raises a cigarette to her lips. Her eyes are brown and her face is speckled with birthmarks. She can't be. A silver jumpsuit falls off her like scale armor, sparkling. This is the sparkle of too many nights out on the city.
No.
The young woman shakes her head slowly. Officer could be an artistic statement, a claim to official renown.
No. You're a police officer, sir. Okay, cool. I won't. First, I have to ask, are you okay, sir? You look like you're about to throw up.
She's right. Something wants to come out through your mouth, right in front of her, right here.
Sir, you've been here for 3 days. On official police business, no less. Okay. I couldn't say. In truth, so far.
You have no doubt about the drinking. But do you strike yourself as a tight-lipped drunk? She must have heard something. The words have already left your mouth.
What was that? That's not even how words are used. What did you say? Come on. No. You see, that's not what you said. Come on, man. Freddy, please. One more time. Goddamn right you did. You crazy asshole, you. What kind of cop are you? Okay, that's cool. Or if I can just maybe ask you to elaborate on that superstardom a tiny bit. Or maybe you are Guillaume le Million. He'd be about your age now. Think about it. One thing, though. It's gonna suck for you later when you have to interrogate me. And for the record, no, I didn't do it.
The door is closed. This door can only be opened. There is no one. You hear the shower being turned on. Somewhere inside. Still no answer. Still nothing. Still nothing. You should totally sing karaoke here, the first chance you get. Your emotions need to be expressed. People need to know your vast, oceanic soul. Utterly, and it needs to be heard. Through a PA system, by other people. Who is mistakenly identified as a cop for his prominent jawline? Yes, sounds likely. You should probably go on stage and pose for a moment when you're done with this thought. See if it works. You have not yet stumbled on the right lamentation, but it's out there. It'll come to you. You will wreak havoc with it. No, don't sing the happy song. It's stupid. You have to find something tragic to sing first, though. A man in his late 20s stands behind the counter, inspecting. Everything is cool between you and this guy. He's a big fan. Make some small talk. A competent work of taxidermy. Looks like the bird was ripped off the shield that was used to mount it. This is the great skua. The seabird is the symbol for the discovery of the Insulindian Isola, the part of the world you are in right now. The small steel tag says as much. The great skua. Stegosaurus skua.
Look, your buddy is over there. Why don't you go and talk to him, okay?
He pretends not to hear you.
No.
He's very animated all of a sudden. This seems like a touchy subject.
I have 3 cafeterias to manage. 3.
His eyes dart from left to right. This man...
So now you're a cop. Oh, forget it.
Hello, sweetie. You shouldn't keep your...
A colorful piece of plastic is dangling on the counter, rolled out of his open hand. You see a blister pack of headache medicine. The man does not mind. You probably need them more than he does.
You've just picked up some magnesium. This item is stored in the bottom left corner of the screen above your character portrait. Use magnesium to heal your morale if you have morale damage.
It's a dock worker's ID, doubling as a shift card and a job permit. A young, able-bodied man stares back at you from the photo. You fumble with the spring-loaded gate of the carabiner, but to no avail. Like fucking sleigh bells. What are you doing? You're gonna get caught.
Stop finger-fucking him, officer! I'm responsible for these oafs and their stuff! Even Sleepy there! Yes, sure. A criminal.
You gently shake his shoulder, but nothing happens. This man could probably sleep soundly. The theme on that pinball machine is a standard royalist theme, used on everything, clinging to a picture book version of the past century, waiting for the king to come back and cast out all the profiteers and homosexuals. Basically, imagine a yellow plastic, the contemporary. A bespectacled man in an orange bomber jacket is tapping his foot on the floor. Looks like he's waiting for someone. As you approach, on the sleeve of his bomber jacket, as well as on its back, are the same enigmatic.
Hello, I'm Kim Kitsuragi, Lieutenant, Precinct 57.
You realize he's waiting for your name. Concentration makes you squint your eyes. Your name should be deep gold and orange, like a forest fire looming on the horizon, but mixed with the stench of liquor rising from your breath. You're 2 steps closer to it, but they are still...
Okay then. It looks like we had a little scheduling error on Sunday. Saturday too, actually.
What he means is, he has been trying to meet up with you for 2 days, but you have been otherwise occupied.
If you don't mind, we should talk to him again. Ask him for a rundown of... It also wouldn't hurt to assure him the police are finally here. In full force, I mean. Have you mapped out the initial interviews? Good. But even if you haven't, we'll have time for that. Have you removed the dead body from the tree? Does that mean the body is no longer... So, the body is still in the tree, where it has been hanging for 7 days straight. We should go there as soon as we are done talking to the owner. After you, officer.
If you're about to embark on an investigation, shouldn't you have a badge?
You mean you don't have a badge? Oh, if you didn't have your badge, then that would be very bad. You would need to report it on my shortwave. But since you do have it, we can go straight to the task at hand.
Lieutenant Kitsuragi is now in your party. You can talk to him whenever by
The man with the unimpressive beard notices you approaching.
Mr. Gart, right? You run this place.
Yes.
I am Kim Kitsuragi from Precinct 57. This is an inter-district investigation, so joining me from Precinct 41... Right. Now, I know it took us a while to arrive at the scene. It also took you a while to call us and report the dead body.
No, I only just got here. It was...
Do you have her...
As a matter of fact, I do.
This sounds like something you can use to call this Sylvie late.
You said you just got here. From...
What, of Martinez? No, I live in Jamrock.
But you still know your way...
Yes, I know where some things are, but as I said, I don't live here. I just used to work here. And I'm not going to start working here again, if that's what you think.
I didn't imply that.
He probably means this is where you step in and ask your questions. His face expresses profound... Ask him about the body's location before asking if he killed him. People give up information in the more innocuous question.
Behind this building, there's a courtyard. That's easy. See that door there? First you exit through that. Then, to your right, you should see a big hole in the fence. A really big one. You can get to the courtyard through there. No need for the keys. The hole is big enough for the Franco-Nigerian cavalry to fit through.
This man means the heavy cavalry of the innocents Franco-Negro, sweeping over the plains and nations of the enemies of mankind. 5th century style. Unified currency and the concept of cool came in their wake. They wore lamella and carried guns. But first and foremost, Franco-Nigerian heavy cavalry was really, really wide. That hole in the fence must be enormous.
Haven't you asked me that already? What is it with you and this woman? She has nothing to do with this. Okay, you got me. She went away because of the dead body out back. And because I asked for her number. That's why Sylvie went away. I hope you appreciate that.
Thank you.
I asked an employee out. She didn't want to come, but felt obliged to. It was a bad idea. Now, what is so goddamn fascinating about that for you? It's got nothing to do with the lynching. What? Is that so? Mr. Feminist...
You've gained a thought. When this dialogue is over, go to your thought cabinet and internalize it for special bonuses and effects.
I don't know who killed him.
This is it. He said they hoisted him up on a tree. Who is this they, if he doesn't know?
Oh, people are saying it was the union dock workers. The locals, the customers, the people who eat here. A lot of dock workers eat here.
Did the debarders themselves tell her this, or is it a rumor?
I don't really know. I would suppose it's...
You mean the strike?
Yes, the strike. The man they hanged was a security guard for the harbour company, I hear. A mercenary. The unionistas probably thought they'd send a message. What are you, crazy? Of course I didn't kill him.
The lieutenant turns.
Let's go.
Not so fast, Mr. Feminist. You owe me 130 real.
As you blow this joint, behind you, a whiny voice shouts.
Real mature man.
You see a set of tire tracks in the brown slush that covers the plaza mosaic. The tire tracks were left here by an unknown event that took place some days ago. It's a message, written in the language of burnt rubber. Some of that rubber stuck to the tiles right in front of the whirling-in rags, and then accelerated straight. The driver proceeded to back out of the yard, barely stopping before hitting the adjacent building. Before heading south, must have been in a hurry.
You are correct. This is a rather motor carriage-friendly city. I'm not sure. There are plenty of traffic accidents waiting to happen in Martinez. With the jam right here on the roundabout, I would keep them separate.
You could follow the track south. There seems to be a canal there. The corpse looks at you with bulging white eyes. The face around them does not look human. It's swollen and ready to burst. His lips are fish-like, and his tongue like a ball gag in his mouth. You seem to be holding your breath. A cargo belt twists his neck at an unnatural angle. The body below appears stiff. It's letting out an ungodly rot. The smell seeps in, even
Active decay. It's okay to throw up, officer. No.
He's about to blow! Cop's gonna blow, Kuno!
The smell is repulsive. It pushes in from your mouth, more instant and more familiar than... Too late. It's impossible to keep in. Your body curls and pushes it out, burst by, until a pool of vomit lies under your feet, and your throat stings from the stomach acid. The smell of Commodore Red rises from the pool. Among it, distilled spirit and bits of shish kebab.
It's okay. Happens to everyone. Keep it. The hangover is clearly making this worse for you. You could use some... Sure you do. You just threw... There is freight nearby. east of the hostel. There's a greenhouse here, and a gardener with a wheelbarrow on the corner of the whirling...
Acquiring ammonia will provide a modifier to the white check. Modifiers make checks easier and allow you to retry them.
An inconspicuous pile of the roofing material, Eternite. Because it's nice and orderly, well, rhythmic pattern calms your mind. It's nothing. Glad you asked. When junior researcher Olari Tal invented Eternite in the Vatna Polytechnic Institute some 30-odd years ago, he thought it would last forever. It's nothing. So
The RCM in Martinez. What can I help? We don't see a lot of police around here. Of course. Sure, I'm done with it. Go easy on that stuff. Excuse me? Oh, well, I didn't write it. Okay. Since the street sign's messed up, it's just water. No, actually, I think they call it the no problem.
she's very well composed.
Of course. I won't hold you back.
If there's a corpse, then you're going to need those gloves for...
Sure, keep them. I have another pair.
There he still is, looking right through you with his white eyes. The body below is entirely dedicated to that corpse smell. There he still is, looking right through you with his white eyes. The body below is entirely dedicated to that corpse smell, emitting it. The ammonia only makes it worse. The combination forces tears out of your ducts. The second time, not so much. When the vomiting is done, your cheeks are wet with tears.
I've seen strong men turn themselves inside out for hours. You are facing tough odds here. Alcohol withdrawal makes it considerably harder. I've seen captains puke their guts out. It never gets easier. You never get used to the smell. Every Monday, then drive to the station. Maybe throw up on the way there. I think I've lost my sense.
A white lie.
Not being hungover helps too. Okay, you've said it. You needed to say it. And now that you have, you need to get your shit together. We should go talk to the locals. Find something else to do while the wind changes. It's pretty bad right now.
You've gained a thought. When this dialogue is over,
Give it half an hour. Get yourself together. Then...
Kuno's got this.
If there ever was such a thing as an ugly kid, then this is it. He's almost
Oh yeah, Nappa Gumpy, Kuno! Right in the dick, Kuno! Get him right in the dick!
Love it in the dick.
The boy is sweating profusely. His eyes are like two black holes and his jaw is twitching as if trying to break free from the empire of his body. The kid is obviously high.
Fuck that! Kuno, yeah! Right in the mouthhole!
Shits himself.
The rake, Kuno! You should throw the rake!
The fuck? Does Kuno know what a rake is? Kuno's not a gardener.
Language you will see.
Fast. This kid has got street smart.
Alright, entertain the Kuno. Show me.
The kid moves his hands like a basketball player dribbling fast.
Shit.
This is where you quickly ask him questions. Real cop.
Kuno's fuck imp. Kuno uses the fuck imp for target practice.
He's trying to hide the fact that he doesn't know.
Kuno knows what you meant. Kuno's not a snitch. That's all. Trying to make Kuno probably climbed. You had Mesk or...
There is no Night City anywhere. That sounds...
Why you gotta be riding Kuno's ass? You haven't been where... You wanna know where Kuno was? You wanna know...
Oh, don't tell him that!
It's not fucking lame. Kuno's building Kuno's City. Night City. Rage...
Lame!
That's the name of Kuno's City, bitch. Get the fuck off Kuno's back.
This shit ain't about
It's impossible to deduce what it is
just a couple of pigs.
Yeah, you tell the faggoty.
You're testing Kuno's patience, yeah?
Get lost.
The fuck about it? You're testing.
Get lost.
Yeah, like a fucking.
You're lucky you didn't die there.
Yeah. Kuno's. What are you? Like 80, right? Maybe you should stop it.
Perhaps you could compress this negative energy and turn it into some... That's right. Turn your weaknesses into conceptual strengths. Try it again now.
Kuno.
There, he's still in.
Hello, sir. Step right in. The store is open. Are you interested in a new and exciting book? Hello again, sir. Are you interested in a new and exciting... It's a bookstore, sir. We sell books, postcards, and some board games. It's called Crime.
Books? Postcards? Easy. Even a kid would know all of this.
Yes, that's exactly it. You got it, sir. What about board games? Okay, sir. This was all very enlightening. Okay, sir. I'll try to answer any questions you have. I hope they're about... It's the type of book where there's a rich lady and she has to choose between the good man and the bad man. Or there could be a story about a poor lady getting a rich man. It's about man and lady business, sir. It happens, but usually the guy gets rich in the process. Or should actually be rich himself, but has lost his family property unjustly, like during the revolution or something. Those are unhappy books, for most of the pages. People sad about what they have lost, but then these are not very common. You can't have a... Well, maybe then it's fun. That's really not a proper romance story. That's not in romance books, sir. These are about nice and pretty people, and I haven't read many of those. Maybe you should ask Mum. I don't think it's a romance story if the main characters break up, though. No. Yes.
What was that? An idea for an unfinished novel?
Maybe some about other books? Crime fiction is about murders or burglaries or things like that.
Crime is what we were solving before this conversation began.
It's exciting to people, I guess. You don't look much like a policeman. Didn't mean to offend, sir. Sorry, sir. It's just that you don't look like Dick Mullen. More about books, maybe?
volumetric ship compressor. Bizarre scientific news from Revachol West today, where a police officer's shit has been observed at a pressure of around 495 gigadecimals. These metallic There he still is, looking right through you with his white eyes. The body below is entirely dedicated to that corpse smell. Emitting it is all.
Ha ha ha! A guy!
Every time it happens, it gets worse and worse. There's nothing more to throw up now. All that's left is crying and convulsing dryly at the same time. Sometimes even
I'm at a loss as well. Office.
You can open this white check again by going to your character sheet.
Maybe it's okay if you don't make it today. The dead man isn't.
It was clear.
Welcome to Revachol.
Don't you welcome to Revachol me. My grandfather came here from a 3,000-year-old racist isolationist culture, while your ancestors came to this island a mere 300 years ago. Every school of thought and government has failed in the city, but I love it nonetheless. It belongs to me as much as it belongs to you. It's men like you who keep Revachol.
What he means is, fixation on the Revacholian nation makes it harder for Revachol to actually attain self-determination.
Oh, come on, man. I just said, welcome to Revachol. It's a lorry driver thing.
I know exactly what you meant. You think... But you see, I'm enough...
Silence. Your partner needs backup. Now's your moment to shine.
I haven't learned anything I did.
The lieutenant exhales and
Whatever you say, officers.
He smells of heavy motor oils, and his breath of high tar content cigarettes.
It's about biological determinism, natural law, the sorting of the races. Not the most popular topic nowadays, with the coalition in charge and all. You might want to change the topic. That is... I'm not just racist. Look, I've read books, huh? The science of racial theory has all been proved. People who've studied these things say that you and me are superior by design. So, naturally, we Occidentals should be in charge. Obviously, you can see the merits in that. Open your eyes. Haven't you noticed something different lately? An unfortunate downturn, maybe? The problem? The damn kips are showing a real good game lately. Same with the mosquitoes. And the other intruders species.
Cultural victory? What is this then? Oh?
Don't push your luck. Looking for something odd? Oh, not much anymore. I'm here to pick up some cargo, but the dock workers are on strike, so it's a sit and wait on your ass situation. Apples.
Apples is exactly the kind of thing you'd say if you had something.
Look, as detective. Oh, I'm here to pick up a load of fucking apples, man. Just...
Koiko may be another derogative. For a person from Grad, you think?
Yep, it's one of their main exports.
In fact, Yekokata is a desolate wasteland whose name literally
Yeah? Says who? Then, I guess they grow apples somewhere else. You can never really tell with those Koikos. They're everywhere. Yeah, you know, Gradnix, Gradvolk. Those... Cause that's what they're all called. Koiko. Hey, if the name and description fit by the very... did you miss the part where I said they aren't here yet? Besides, even if I...
Relax. You've got all you can get here. He probably doesn't even know what he's hauling. Even if it is...
Oh yeah, they're a big deal. My great-grandfather was a carter. Had a royal license. Sure fucking is. We have a guild and everything, huh? Very ancient. Very prestigious. Goddamn right. They've been trying to... Trusting street thugs with their goods is going to...
Stuck in the traffic jam. This big, heavy Grad-made machine. The windows are clear. They've been recently washed. You can see a lorryman. The driver has adorned his space with a substantial collection of peculiar paraffin. A large metal pendant hangs from the rear view mirror. The pendant features a sun crowned with wavy ray. It is the seal of Royalist era revolution. The back end of the cabin has a book with ragged edges catches your note.
Racist nationalist paraphernalia. Not unusual in this part of town. This is... likely, yes. This guy's proud of who he is. Drapes...
There he is, in front of Rita, smoking note. As you look up, you notice something about the statue. There are some odd indentations on the king's chest piece. Even by the standards of the Philippian kings, old sumptuous Philip was known for his profligacy. Well, he blew through the whole national treasury, starting the decline of one of the penultimate century's greatest superpowers, the suzerain of Revachol. His own maladministration foreshadowed the fall of the monarchy. During the anti-centennial revolution, stories have it that he had his bedroom converted into a treasure chamber, where he stored There were whispers he slept on a huge pile of gold-dipped feathers. But wait, you haven't even heard about his fate. You see, old Philippe wasn't just good at squandering the national treasury on gold and ceremonial weaponry. That's what the revolutionaries said 150 years later. Right, His Majesty's courtier, cocaine. Beneath the cold waters of the Insulindian Bay. The original was blown apart by communards, then further damaged during the... Most historians think the coalition's hasty landing may have ultimately saved the statue. If the communards had more time, they would have reduced it up to even finer pieces. Some years ago, a group of liberal, artistically inclined individuals, designers, the statue is supposed to capture the moment it was blown apart, like an instant frozen in time, a rare butterfly trapped. People in Martinaise tend to disagree, as do many prominent art critics, and those critics might have it wrong though. There's more to it than just ironism, but you can't say. Philip III, the squanderer, however, not that he ever did in life either. Something with great kinetic energy seems someone shot him in the heart. Interesting.
Okay, I can't... Well, Martinez is riddled with bullet holes. This place saw a lot of action during the revolution. Why not? What this shows us is guns aren't too uncommon here, and people still...
The king stands high above him. Small, wrinkled woman does not greet you. She nods a the photo, an ambrotype from the turn of the century. No response.
Wait. She's just a distracted old woman. Better to leave her alone. Why? I just told you why.
The woman still has her eye. No response. Where?
What do you want to know? No, it's not. The deceased is a security guard for a corporation involved in a labor dispute. It doesn't take a DeLorean polymath to put the pieces together. I just don't see the case getting... There was some interest in this case at my station, but not for the reason... Yes, it just so happens there's a beautiful...
The wary tone is the surest indicator that the lieutenant is being sarcastic. It can still be an otherworldly sex mystery. He's basically challenging you to sex it up with some lurid twist. Don't get right into it. Sit on it a bit. Then hit...
I'm afraid you and I are pawns in a... You don't know? I assumed you were in on it. That's good. Better still than an imbecilic cop-off. It's just stupidity. We shouldn't waste any more time on it. If you want... Later. Was there anything else you wanted to know about the case? Maybe you can tell me what you do know, to help me narrow it down. Then you are not that far behind, actually. 3 days ago, the RCM Emergencies Desk received a report about a security guard who was found hanged in Martinez. An anonymous caller. During that time, the victim had been stripped of his belongings. The caller did not identify him, but used the word lynching. There is an ongoing labor dispute between the local dock worker, a security guard or worker of some sort, hired by Wild Pines. They didn't identify themselves in any way. The tone was, there's a strong prejudice against involving the RCM in what's seen as union matters. The dock workers union is the... That's us. The Revachol.
The RCM, or the Revachol Citizen Militia, is the police force you and him are part of. A self-organized peace corps of the occupied city.
That's right. You mean like a brief? 3 days ago, during a security guard, they didn't identify. There's a strong prejudice against involving the RCM in what's seen as union. Just to be clear, we are police officers. It's our job to find good.
No response. He's having trouble processing it, believing it even.
Have you tried concentrating on something other than you're not a fan?
The RCM deploys a self-styled structure called the Decomptage as its chain of command. Every lieutenant is responsible for 2...
Try work. The case at hand. It can work miracles. Fine. We should get through this day first. Off hours begin at 9 p.m. If you're still having trouble then, I can give you an... Really? You look fine to me. This psychodrama...
Clearly, he prefers to think you're malingering. He cannot fathom that...
Then you should consider seeking medical attention. You can use the radio in my kinema to call your station's Lazareth. Was there anything else you wanted?
Only banal things strike you. At the core, you're a very banal person with a very small soul. One you should be ashamed of. It's no wonder the soft one doesn't want it back. It was right to abandon you.
Good. Me? I don't see how my life is pertinent to the investigation. That's a fair point. Or that's correct.
You feel a slight urge to put the lieutenant down for this. But you can't quite muster enough testosterone.
Are they? They are mostly just cumbersome. That's because I'm half Seolite, or quarter. My father's father was from Seoul. So was my grandmother, but from my mother's side. It's a part of the world, officer.
Seoul is a protectionist, isolationist, pan-insulary state west of the insular.
You're barking up the wrong tree. I don't speak a word of Seolite. I've never met either one of my grandparents.
A point of pride to him.
No.
Your brain sends the signal to your lips, but they it's like you're locked down.
Something the matter?
What's going on? The lieutenant relaxes his eyebrow, and you seem to regain control of yourself.
What do you mean? I have no idea.
The lieutenant's conceptualization skills must be right.
What? Think?
The lieutenant produces his... We all have our different mediums.
Good. Let's change. Excuse me? You have a distinctive way of walking. If I were to walk in front of you, we would surely... I hope you don't take this the wrong way. It's just a collegial observation. They say it's a scene-clearing technique developed by one of your lieutenants for gathering evidence. It's...
Yes, but containers contain things.
I don't know. Containers contain, I guess. I'm making assumption.
Estars Raiko, one of the fine... Not many people outside of Grad.
Estash Raiko KK2. That's a classic model. Never thought I'd see another one repainted after...
No, only that the motor carriage is typically baby blue. The colors of Sigismund the Great, an ancient gem.
That's, well, yes, exactly it, more or less. They said it was an honor killing, Hussar style. The gym...
Correction. 4,395. The fourth largest public...
Is that so, officer? I'll take you at your word. People we are paid to protect. Let's leave it at that. 4 years for murder. The perps were remorseful. Their sorry knocked 8 years off the sentence.
The prisons in the greater Revachol Industrial Harbor are already full. Prisoners are expensive to maintain. The longer the sentence...
I try to avoid drawing far-gone conclusions like these before actually examining the body. But my initial... Yes, detective? You sure you're not Jimsk?
Yes, you're sure you're not. Or, if you are...
Welcome to Frit. Feel free to look around or something.
What's that magazine she's reading?
I don't know. Frit? A 7 to 11 grocery store? I think they think that the extra T makes it.
The story goes that normal Fritta, with 2 T's, a men's workwear shop in Vredefort, was already taken. So when Fritta Retail Inc. grew into a...
You mean this? This is Pop Stars.
Looks like it also has something called Police de la Mode. She pops her raspberry flavor, her shoulders tense. She The lieutenant frowns at you before turning to the...
Okay. I'm not...
She looks up.
Yes. What we have is there, in the medicine cabinet. Go take a look yourself. I don't really know anything. I mean, I know it's not really. No. I didn't know him at all. I don't know, really.
No need to worry. It's just standard procedure for...
Okay. Uh-huh.
The tear machine stands in the corner.
Oh, that's the tear machine. It's a machine for tear. You know, you find tear outside, like bottles or whatever, and put it... You need a bag, I guess. We used to have some, but feel free to use it if you find a bag, though.
A small cabinet on the wall is filled with various medicine bottles, nasal sprays, and their logo is the Bloodless Rose.
Just ask me if you need anything from St. Baptiste. We don't stock prescription meds, but we do have Nosafed, Duramine, Magnesium, and Hypnogamma. I don't know. Let's see. Nosafed is a nasal spray. Duramine is a really good painkiller. I don't really know what Hypnogamma is. I guess it makes... no.
A colourful display of cigarettes and the bottles wink at you in the light. There, in that dark green glass, all in vain. The great flowing river of warmth.
Sure. But I'm obliged to inform you that both alcohol and cigarettes damage your health. But I guess you already know that. No, Frit only sells legal drugs, like the law says. The pale aged vodka is special, I guess. I mean, I already said it'd hurt you.
Substances give powerful bonuses to your main stats at the cost of damage to your health or morale. Use medication, like Nosafed and Magnesium, to counteract the negative effects of
You see several packaged raincoats fill a low The packages are small, discreet, sloppily stacked, making them easy.
What is what? If you want to buy one, then it's...
Her attention is drawn to the...
Is this about the questions again? I don't really know it. Uh-huh.
A small cabinet on the wall is filled with various medicine bottles, nasal sprays, and blister packs. They all bear the Saint Baptiste Pharmaceutics logo. There he still is, looking. As you breathe in, the odor comes over you. It's a puzzle. What's hanging in front of you is a puzzle of decaying... The man before you...
They do after 7 days, yes. We are deep in decomposition here.
The material appears to be ceramic. Its clean white stands in stark contrast to the decaying flesh above the knee. The man wore thick polymer socks, probably for padding. A fine array of interlocking plates covers them. Delicate and fragile, they feel alien to the world around you, out of place somehow. These are clearly not boots. They're armor, possibly part of a larger set.
Indeed. Technically speaking, these are
Oh, the lieutenant uses a memo technique, A6. That's not just any note. It's clearly some manner of super armor. Or
ceramic plate. Under the heel. Fair weather. Piece by piece. We should keep a lookout for these pieces. The armor could yield information. No, he must have worn something precious underneath his clothes. They've removed all his clothes to get to it. They did not just... Someone could have...
I hear you, cop, talking shit about the Kuno. Come here and say it's a... You wanna fuck me, huh? You wanna fuck...
They usually hang them completely.
What?
Kuno, this boots shit is super boring and the guy's a total Victopaz.
It is. It's expensive. We've requested similar material for our tactical units for a full set.
For the northwest region of Revachol, an officer's average yearly income is 5,500.
Not too much, yes.
The lieutenant nods.
That's for us to find out. Mr. Guard implied he was just something I scraped together from my station. I agree. This equipment is way beyond what a guard can afford.
A small bell-like sound fills the air, like tapping on the side of a porcelain cup.
It's anything but. This material is a kinetic redistributor. It spreads kinetic energy.
Faint, organic lines cover the plates where they separate like whirls of floorboards. The design looks organic. If trees were made of porcelain, the smooth, glossy surface fractures. The whirls are in the shape of a letter and number combination. E50, 100, 1000. X5415 6745 678222. Let's lie.
That doesn't sound like a serial number. Where's the strict?
True. It didn't have the cadence and logic of a...
Officer, the decomposing core. We have a make and a number. That's something. We can use the radio.
The stench fills your nostrils.
Pig's gonna...
Brutal!
You're about to pull his... Stop obsessing about your sexuality, officer. You are about to see...
Indeed. From this angle, it does look like the neck isn't...
What are you trying to achieve anyway? Why are you hanging on to that boot? How many clothes do... There's no way you're getting them off.
You're sure there's a way to peel them off, but first the body needs to be down. And second, it would probably be better if the lieutenant... The anticipation makes you crack your fingers. Feel...
Processing will take care of them. With the situation in the morgue, it will yield nothing. But we...
The cadaver slowly... The hangman's knot is pulled tight by the weight of the corpse below. Yellow, hard-edged polyester cuts into his neck. Above, a sliding buckle ties the belt to the branch. This is a steel-reinforced cargo lashing belt, big brother of the regular cargo belt. It's used for tying cargo under 6-rotor airships.
Airlifting. I thought it was used on lorries for strapping cargo to them. The local harbor uses 6 rotors to shuffle containers around. I get the sense they use whatever was on hand, without paying much attention to not incriminating themselves. I was afraid it would be. Thin steel wiring, parallel strands. This makes... I'm still approaching this as a lynching, yes. Motivated by the ongoing strike. 70% of the cases I get are just filling in the blanks on the initial report. A noose is one of those things that's easier to use one way around. That ladder can't carry a grown man. I didn't see any splintering either, did you?
Could be. The shape of the branch supports the theory. The cadaver hangs. An intricate web of blue lines stretches across the torso, from the right shoulder to the solar plexus. Each time they intersect, a small white star is formed in their crossing. Hundreds of fading asterisks.
A map of the stars.
As if someone left out most of the night sky, filtering it through personal choice.
So am I.
He wears a wide leather belt around his waist and a gun holster. He takes a thin piece of milled aluminium from his coat pocket and pulls.
Shit, Kuno!
An instant color camera. I have only 2 ampoules, so nobody move. I don't want to waste one.
A sound, a shrill flash, followed by the breaking.
In case we need it. It contains insight to the victim's person. By his build, I'd say this was a man of physical violence. The story he wanted his body to tell was important to him. Sure, just don't lose it.
The glassy-eyed corpse looks by, his mouth.
You've acquired an interactable item. Investigate this item further by going to the Interact tab in your inventory.
His eyes are milky white and blind, dark brown hair grows on his head. His face is ready to explode from
I'm gone. I'm a joke. Look at me. A killer. A mother. Go ahead, Kobo. Into the wall. In the past. Way out. What do you mean? It's the power of your imagination. Go ahead. Ask me more questions. Because you're a copperoony. Look at all of them go. Do you want more? Coming right up, copperoony Rooney. This is getting upbeat now. Fuck no. You're no Rooney. No, you don't. Between you and me, your name is probably Harry. Because you have love did me in, brother Copo. It was love all along. Sure, Lobo, I cannot. Looking at my face, motionless, looking into my eyes. You're a lying sack of shit, Copo. You're doing this because there is nothing. Do I remember?
A child born with Muller's disease, harlequinism, grown up miraculously.
You sure wrinkled out of that one, Coppolini. Come back later, Coppo. Amuse yourself with my frank manners and my memento mori features. If possible. Also, see me in your dreams.
As you narrow your eyes, the monster... This is a trick. You've done it before. Pink is where the blood settled in the first hours post-mortem. You can use it to see if the corpse has been tampered with. Does his position at the time of death match the discoloration? Only the lower extremities are pink with a dash of blue. His fatted hands, thighs, and his neck, just above the noose. The rest of the corpse appears dark green in the cold spring air.
I see it. His neck too.
The monster comes back into focus. An explosion of...
So, what do you think? I do.
Stop talking in riddles.
Agreed. Especially on the neck. The belt acted like a tourniquet. There's always a chance. We should check for ligament.
His personality.
I agree. Totally dead. That sounds about right, yes.
A pool of blood and feces has eaten into the frozen mud.
The victim appears to have contained no more than half a kilogram of digestion.
The fuck he's saying?
Maybe.
But there is no breath.
Are you sure we finished the preliminary examination of the cadaver? We might miss some of these things once he's done.
The cadaver slowly twists on the cargo belt. His torso
Of course. You have questions, don't you? Because you have. In the pub. I'm a joke. Look at me. There is nothing funny about a killer. Go ahead, Kobo. Come back later, Coppo. Amuse yourself.
The steel-reinforced belt presents a unique challenge. I brought Chaincutter.
He doesn't actually think the challenge is unique.
The cadaver is a good 1.2 meters up. Neither one of us can reach the belt without assistance. And even if we do, there's the question of cutting the... There has to be a less risky way, with less falling...
Yeah! Bang bang time, pig! Shoot his head off!
How? Where?
They'll miss! The pigs will miss, Kuno!
I'll blow his head.
Yeah, take the shot! Kuno what?
And produces a lightweight firearm. He drops a paper cartridge in the barrel, separates the scouring stick, and gives the cartridge 5 tucks, securing it in place. That's a Kiel A9090 armistice. He then steps back and assumes the fellow's desk position, taking aim. The corner of his eye twitches.
He's gonna fucking miss!
The kid's voice is drowned in a shrill blast that echoes off the walls.
God damn it.
A lot of things were wrong with that shot. The fellow's desk was the wrong choice.
Kuno could have hit it easy, but then Kuno's not fucking handicapped, is he?
No, we are lucky as it is. We didn't break any more mistakes could put us in an
Kuno sorry.
The lieutenant doesn't say.
Remain collegial, officer. It was an honest mistake. I have to say, it's beginning to...
You know, you don't feel like too bad of a shot yourself.
It's bad as it is. Us shooting firearms like punks here.
Oops.
This is the sorriest pig.
Officer, why do we only have one gun? Extremely unfortunate. You need to contact your station about it.
Yeah, take it, you fucking banana boyka! Take it and shoot yourself in the mouth!
The cold piece of bakelite and gunmetal is surprising. You've held this, a P9 armistice, before.
The fuck are you waiting for, Kuno? Tell him to
The buckle comes into focus in your sights. You stand with your feet planted firmly.
Why don't you just shoot yourself in your mouth? At least you won't miss.
Your field of view narrows. The slow movement of the branch in the wind, and your shoulder.
Look, he's crying. You gonna cry now, fucking faggot? Or what? You gonna fuck me? You do it! Set me free!
Don't.
Do it!
Fucking shit, copper.
Fucker waved his gun. It wasn't intense, it was pathetic.
A plume of smoke erupts from the barrel. Your hand goes numb. You missed the belt, but hit the corpse straight in the chest. Bits of rib.
Oh my god, he's gonna fucking cry, I knew it! What?
Ask for another shot. You'll get it with the next one. The goddamn light reflected off some window. Surely.
The cadaver is already compromised.
It came out wrong. You made it sound like there is...
Victor wants to fuck up again.
The cadaver is...
It came out there.
Victor wants to fuck up again. It's the song of my...
Don't provoke her.
Shot him in the chest.
It's not the gun's fault you can't...
Pigs don't have that.
Kuno has hands. Kuno can shoot that shit down for you.
Cop's bitter because he fucked that corpse up.
We still need to get him down, somehow. The bad way. The way I didn't want us to. By asking the harbor for help. They have the tools and the men. To ask the suspect for help with the victim's body. To be indebted to Everard Clare. Clearly we can't.
Suck my dick, bitches.
The leader of the union. Attend
Yeah? Don't go being...
from the gates. By negotiating or fighting. I'm unenthusiastic.
To the gates. Let's negotiate. The man before you. An inconspicuous pile of... There are several footprints in the mud, left by work boots. There are several footprints in the mud. Maybe more than 12. No. 8 pairs of boots have shuffled. 1. Standard work boot. Steel reinforced toes. Number 46. 2. Standard work boot. 3. Hobnailed work boot. Steel reinforced. 4. Standard work boot. Number 45 or 46? You don't know. It's a miracle you can tell the... 5 and 6. An aberration. Impossible to tell. Could also... You're not bad. It's as if the whole world darkens. 7. The glowing outline of a standard work boot. Number 46. 8. And yet another standard work boot.
I was pretty off then. I counted 20. I never got the hang of it. Hyperopia. Do you see anything out of the ordinary? Interesting. Let's name it the Odd Soul. Someone operating a workbench with a pedal? Like a joiner at the harbor. Or maybe a drummer? A drummer only uses the right foot for the kick drum. Perhaps it could be a driver. A driver would wear the right shoe before the left. We should keep our eyes open around the traffic jam. See whether anyone strikes out as a potent... A woman or a kid? Okay.
He knows it's hard to discern sex from a person's gait.
That's okay. Go on. A woman or a kid? Okay.
He knows it's hard to discern.
Understood. Any 200? Could it be the combined weight of two people, one carrying the other who's tied up? Let's say a heavily built worker carrying a similarly built...
He might be right. 200 kilograms of living weight is unlikely.
Possibly, yes.
But why?
Yes, they could have used a makeshift stretcher or just march him up to the gallows. Even easier to carry on a stretcher, or between two men. Anyway, a week maybe? 7 days would...
It is not impossible.
I pulled last week's forecast for coastal Havashol. 7 days below freezing.
Correct again. Sub-zero temperatures would preserve the tracks in a good state.
What do I think? A mob of people brought something heavy. Then, after hoisting him up, they stood in a semicircle facing his direction. At first glance, these...
Indeed. They all... Yes, everything fits so well. Carried the lieutenant's eye.
Either way. What else?
Inexplicable feminist agenda. There is something you need to see, sir. We found the remnants of an ancient artifact lodged in your hypothalamus. It is a cylindrical object, piss-weathered and smelling of liquor. The paint is peeling off, but you can clearly make out the letters. Revolution.
looking for something, Hunt? Come to tell me to fuck off again? Not the most popular topic nowadays. People who've studied these things said... So, lately we Occidentals have experienced an unfortunate... This concerns you, policeman.
Cultural victory?
It's what the kips of Boogie Street are going for, right under our noses. And the others too, on the radio. It's true. Also, you need to realize the dangers of mixing races. Good. If we, the evening people, pull together, we can form a bulwark against...
Lieutenant Kitsaragi's stern expression.
Oh, not much anymore. I'm here to pick up some cargo. The strike? I'd have been at it for a while. A month. Apple.
Apples is exactly the kind of thing you'd say if...
Yeah, apples? I take it you had other questions. Yeah, they're a big deal. Someone with a cart. Not at all. We're part of a guild and everything, huh? It's very... Hell no. It's a guild. Invitation only. Unions work for the rich. Trusting street thugs with their...
When you said before that you were down with racism, was it... I suppose that's a relief.
We know a lie, sire.
And one more thing. As you've seen, these sorts of attitudes are quite common in... I've had this conversation enough times in my life. From now on...
Bastards! We have a right to work! Hold up and stay frosty, everyone. Cop.
You here to fuck with us? Beat the honest worker down. We're here to fight for a cause. Stripes usually have problems with people who have causes. Ha! Couldn't handle us. A cause gives the workers strength, gives them power.
We have a right to work!
Besides, we're not that different. It helps if people see us talking, cops and strikebreakers together. Sure. Rights of people. Rights of workers.
His manner of speaking is wooden. The tone of voice bland and uninspired. Almost as if...
Might be time. Don't let the fat bastards tread on you. Cops tend to side. I don't trust cops, but I can see you understand the...
Right to work! Right to work!
Maybe you should ask them the questions. Like, we have families to feed, you piece of shit.
So do we, Scott.
Have fun. Union shits are on full strike. Don't think they're going to let you through. I know nothing about a murder. Wouldn't put it past these harbor bugs.
Right to work!
It's shameful. Cops doing nothing. You should bring backup. Oh.
We are not picking a...
Pity.
Let us work!
When a bunch of ungrateful, lazy cockroaches can't get their act together, this beats me. They mumble nonsense about boardrooms and...
There's something odd in the way he carries himself. His set of clothing looks vague. His shirt is far too small and an unpleasantly tight fit, while the overalls help. He ignores your question, choosing instead to turn to the emaciated workers, raising both fists in the air. The clothes up. Silence is the answer. There's something off here, but he won't say what.
Honest men and women, with rights, to work, to be useful, not toys for corporate interests. We came here to help the harbor run smoothly in time of crisis.
I have a question. Why do all this...
You think they follow because I'm big and loud? No. They follow the rules of the...
You've been talking to him for quite a while now. Something is off with this guy. Ask him where he's from.
What's it to you? Big mess caused by union greed.
Every once in a while, it's like you can see glimpses of another guy under the guise of this fighter for jobs. He seems more...
We're all workers, right? Workers stick together. Came from the eminent domain, in Jamrock. Backgrounds in odd jobs, heavy lifting, cargo hauling, bouncer work. I know the drill. Worked at Territorial. Ring a bell? We're done here. I have a strike to break.
Right to work! Right to work! Shame on you!
Things are busy enough. You going to waste less of my time?
The hulking man oozes stark skin.
What's it to you? Am I a suspect?
Every once in a while, it's like you can see glimpses of another.
We're all workers, right? Workers stick together. Worked at Territorial. Uh-huh. It was a long time ago. What's it to you? Big mess, caused by union greed. But I only fight for the rights of people.
Every once in a while, it's like you can see glimpses of another guy under the guise of this fighter for jobs. He seems a more brutal, cunning, and suspicious person. Just a hunch. Or you just might be paranoid.
We're all workers, right? Worked at Territory. Uh-huh. It was a long time ago. We were promised work. We'd be in there. Main gate's locked. Would take heavy ordnance to bust it open. Could try to get in through the secretary's office. Door's locked. The guards blocking the way to the access panel. And I don't mean the scrawny mess punk either. I mean head measurer. Or whatever he is. Why don't you go arrest them instead?
It would be better for the neighborhood if you went home.
No! They will give up eventually. Or get drunk.
Scab?
You're hazy on the notion of a scab. Smells like politics, though. Maybe it's got something to do with the Flasky.
A kind of a worm, content with mere survival. They come, they want to do our job for shittier pay, screwing over both themselves and us. Everybody loses. Beats me. Somewhere in the ground. Gotta be bloody stupid or freaking evil to scab. Or I guess scared, maybe. But scared of what? Of who? Personally, I'd rather beg than scab. If the gentleman shouting on the street came begging, maybe they'd have gotten something. We've explained the matters, but they don't listen. This lot would be reasonable and go home if the big guy wasn't riling them up all the time.
Big guy. He means the leader of the scabs.
I was just messing with you. No one's ever... Imagine, you cops going on a strike, but then another cop comes in and says, "Speaking of, what brings the RCM here?" Murder, huh? That sounds like a lot of hard work. You'd never see me investigating a murder. Probably not. I wouldn't even know where to start with that. Much better here at the harbor, for an honest union man like me. Body still hanging in the tree? Hey, that's a rough pickle. Can't help you with that, sorry. I'm not really an admirer of dead bodies. Might be someone else from the Union can render assistance. I don't operate in that capacity. I'm not a granter of passage. The passage grants itself.
If it's so simple, why did the scab leader warn you of the guards blocking the way?
Aye. What? Yeah, the 2.5-meter tall Semini supremacist there. Walk right past him. Then press the button to unlock the door. Then go past him again. And you enter the arbor through the office. Está. Don't worry, I'm sure it's not completely impossible. For example, you could convert to a Semini supremacist worldview. Or, not yet, no. Jean-Luc himself would say the philosophy has proven overly heroic for the scabs to convert to. Sure. You know, serious business. I'm sure the big boss would...
He's a chatty guy. Wants to talk about the strike. Return once you've met the union boss and are on a better footing with the organization.
Body betrays your degenerate.
Yeah, Measurehead. His body totally betrays his degeneracy.
Are you admiring my morphophysiology? It must be frightening to stand in the shadow of this racial pinnacle. Be calm, I'm sandwich. What is this androgynous display?
Merely standing up makes you sweat profusely. Your breathing is...
Stop it! You are embarrassing yourself. This display of weakness may appeal to older women.
Jean-Luc, his body is betraying his degeneracy pretty hard. Maybe you...
You have succumbed to Al-Ghul. You reek of it. An invisible sword of Al-Ghul emerges from your throat. You cannot see it.
It means alcohol.
Correct. By small. Al-Ghul is an ancient Ilmaran poison.
Intentionally fermented drinks have existed for 10,000 years.
This is a fabrication the alchemists of Yizot and Bashir and their Rolam and Ghul have fed you people. Go on believing in it, race loser. Why don't you have another drink?
Oh yeah, Measurehead.
It's not good.
It's like a rat crawled into your stomach, got drunk and drowned.
No, you don't. You need to get another drink. Occidental Haplogroup B4 is done giving orders around here. The influence of the Amson...
Does this remind you of someone? The guy down there?
Look at my craniology. I am the pinnacle of my haplogroup. The pink blob is a bad example, even of yours. It saddens me. You were once a noble and powerful race. You gave the world eugenics, electricity, and powerful weapons of war like missiles and aerostatic aircraft. You made great gains in metallurgy, race theory, and statecraft. You dominated lesser cultures, like the deformed Hemians and the inexplicably potato-obsessed Khoikos. But now your ascent to the genetic summit has halted. You are obsessed with sadness and with frivolity. You will be superseded.
It is, baby.
There is a button right behind him. Just, this man is not budging. Let's hope his superiors inside are more cooperative.
Enough with this begging. You should leave. Bring your troops to the Seminine Islands and to Boogie Street, and we will pulverize you. The walls will be lined with bottles of Al-Ghul. Your beloved.
There may be a peaceful solution to this. You could internalize Meshached's race theory. Well, yes. Why? Don't you want to be a Seminese supremacist? So what if you're not Seminese? You can be anything.
Don't be vulgar. White or not has got little to do with this. The race enigma runs much deeper than that. Mr. Clare is a man of vision and means. He has the will. Also, to serve is noble. It takes discipline. Your petulant individualism has only contributed to your race failure. It is lax and moronic. Idiotic communism is the single greatest contributor. Above all, rampant multinational finance still reigning large. Tell me, where have you gotten your love of pathetic communism from? The offshoots of the Seminoles people invented disco while having sex. I am not surprised you enjoy it so much. The South Island race, Haplogroup A4A. We are the rightful masters of the Insulindian archipelago. We descend from the Areopagites of ancient Pericamasis and arrived here 4,000 years ago. Millennia before you. We are the future. That is all you need to know. I am a descendant. The narrow streets of Ulimbuir are with me in my genetic dreams. I see young Seminoles women walk into the grey mass on Ile de Fantôme, waiting on immaculate conception from the pale. No, I have heard about it. I'm from Couronne. And no, it is not just. You have heard enough about our fellow.
I think this racist is better than the last. But the next racist will be the really good one.
That will be the...
He will grant us.
Your pedomorphic friend has quick wits.
The lieutenant does.
You should keep him close. The congenital defect of... Racists are generally not very good examples of their race.
Welcome to Revachol. You hear him yell at a redhead woman visiting. He must think redheads are him.
I am not like them. I am craniometric perfection. I have taken the trouble to permanently draw a phrenologic grid on my skull and features. This should dispel any doubt.
The drawings are precise and look true to their pseudo-scientific ambitions. One thing, however, it is not entirely free of throwbacks in the phylogenetic tree.
That atavistic stigmata makes pussies.
Babe, thanks. But I got this. Racists are generally not very good examples of...
Welcome to He must... The drawings are precise and look true to their pseudo-scientific ambitions.
You exhibit forward projection of the jaw, indicative of schizophrenia and sexual... It is impossible to see any more of your bone structure. This leads me to conclude you are not a police officer. You are... Your racial heritage is uninteresting. It is the same as all Rivasholians. Your parents and their
We still need to get into the harbor. We need help with the tree situation. There must be another way. Yes?
Looking for something odd?
Before you stands a motor carriage. This must be the infernal machine that tore you from oblivion. In the cabin, you are welcomed by a set of steering levers, a radio microphone. A scent of leatherwork and heavy fuel oils washes over you. The frequency tableau lights up, and a green button labeled Prime Line glows. The soft purr of electrical kittens. Radio waves cast far and wide.
This is Precinct 57. Hello.
Hello, Alice.
Operating the radio is easy. Just be confident. You've probably done it 1,000 times.
This is Officer Alice de...
Under the green Prime Line, a yellow Saved button catches your eye. I wonder what Kim's default radio station is.
Of course. What is the number, officer?
Yes, hold on.
Received.
Give it a minute. She might be...
Officer, I have Sylvie Malaika on the line for... Yes, hello? Oh, right. Hello, officer. What can I do for you? You mean, why did I leave the bar?
Why not?
What? No, why would you even think that? Please, don't bring...
God, why can't you just mind your own business?
I already said I don't want to talk about this. You're messing everything up again. You mean, why did I leave the bar?
Why not?
Let's just say you know whom. Maybe, I don't know. I just know I have to take some time off right now. Please, no. Not this again. Everyone saw your cool gun detective. You were trying to impress some people with it. Everyone was eating, and... you were waving it around in everyone's face, begging them to describe it. You said it calms you, and then you started making...
Oh, those again. I have been trying to wean... You know, when you put your gun, your actual gun, on your temple and pretend to shoot your brains out, off of that, people... I remember this. You were screaming things like, "My brains are all over the wall, painting them red. I won't be seeing it, 'cause these are my brains. I can't see without my brains." Very nice visuals there.
Me neither. No, please, no more suicide threats.
There are way more inventive ways than a gun to leave this world. There is silence on the other end.
No idea. All I know is next you were waving around money instead, saying things like big bucks cannot lie and guns can't buy money. It almost looked like you pawned it. But believe me, I did not ask. No, not me. What? Of course it bothered me. But I thought the Union... No one calls the police. The Union would get angry. You know, what the Union says goes. People listen to them and they take care of their own, which is like everyone...
Legally, no. In reality, yes. Martinez is de facto policed by the Dock Workers Union.
Okay. I didn't want to get in trouble.
Push her further. Show her the error of her ways.
I didn't know I had to report it. I thought someone would take him down eventually.
You can almost hear the girl getting smaller on the other end of the line until she almost drowns in static.
No.
It was someone else. We'll find them sooner or later, officer. It just might take a while.
Okay. I do hope so. Please, don't call me again. Bye.
No, she doesn't have a problem with you. It must be someone else she's angry about. Some other guy. Trust me, you wouldn't want to be the guy here. No, you're the guy. You're Lieutenant Love, matchmaker extraordinaire. Help the poor girl out, lest she turns into a spinster. What deranged? I'm just telling things the way they are. You have to act, Lieutenant Love. You have to calm that hysteric girl down. Tell her you've got... Think you can do... Whatever this empathy failure tells you, don't take the quest. It's not wonderful. It's ugly.
No. What?
God, what is happening in your head?
Oh God. Please, just stay out of my life.
What? What is it?
Call was dominated by the other party. Anything else, officer?
It's on. The love quest is on. too late, everyone. It's on. Take it to God now.
Sure, officer. What's the number? And the... Got it. I'll contact the ICP database immediately. Call back tomorrow.
The International Collaboration Police, ICP, is an inter-Isolari law enforcement service. The crown jewel in the moral inter...
Just a second, officer.
10-2, 10-5. This is...
The man uses relay code. You've got this. You're...
10-4, message received. 10-5, relay message. What's your status? Over. Ten 18, state your message, sir.
But you said...
10-9, over. 10-4, message received. This is very... Is
it him? What does he want?
Says he lost...
He what? He lost his badge?
Who lost his badge?
Dick fucking Mullen. Who do you think?
It's Officer Dick Mullen from the bestseller Dick Mullen and the Lost Identity.
Dick Mullen is not your name. Defend yourself. Immediately. They're laughing at you.
He's asking you to stop.
Of course it's serious. He lost his fucking badge.
Satellite Officer Vicmar concurs. Losing your badge is serious. He says this has probably...
Oh god damn it. Is he fucking...
Satellite Officer Vicmar is wondering if you might be...
Mullen dicked us.
10-4, I hear you, officer. I'm just going to make a note here that you are in pursuit of your misplaced badge. Over.
Fuck me. Mac, come here. You've got to hear this.
What's going on?
Super Cop here.
He lost his badge. He lost his goddamn fucking badge.
He asks you to...
Why? Did he find it?
Sergeant Person was on...
You don't have a comeback. So...
He's not replying. Looks like he's still looking for...
What?
You don't have a comeback.
He's not replying. 10-9, come again. I didn't get that. Over.
New Heights?
Ask him. Ask him if he's lost his...
Sergeant Orson wants...
Oh, fuck. Lying over the phone? It's easy.
He says he didn't.
Thank God for that. That would have been a nightmare. I don't even want to imagine the poor prick who has to relay that kind of news to the captain. Losing his badge is bad enough. Tell him to find it, and fast. We can't...
We're all glad to hear you've not lost your gun, officer. You need further assistance? Over. Okay, then...
Wait. Before you say anything stupid, think it through. Be smart about this.
10-4, sir. I'm not hearing your question. That's a negative, sir. I got 10-12 visitors present here. Over. Ten-9, repeat message. I didn't get that, sir.
What? What is it?
He seems intoxicated.
Mullen's drunk and emotional.
Wrap it up. Don't indulge in his drunk... What? What is it?
He wants to...
But of course, it says Dick Mullen, High General of the Revolution. Tell him to stop.
What do you need, sir? 10... Excuse... No, sir, I haven't. No. 10-9. Sir, I will not have you to...
What?
Mullen's drunk.
Wrap it up. Don't indulge in...
10...
Does he actually want something, or is he...
He asked if he...
For God's sake, cut this...
Sir, Satellite Officer Vicmar says... So, was there anything else? Understood, sir. Over. Roger that. 10-10. Over and out.
This is Precinct 57. How may I assist you? It will take...
Her voice... He's carelessly chewing on a piece of hard candy.
Oh.
it's you. Yes, there's no end to the misfortunes fate has seen fit to rain upon me. Who? You are? You lost your human visage a while back. Now let's get on. Yes, there's no end. Who? You are? You lost your human visage. Hard to tell exactly what it was over the phone. Could be a combination of peripheral or, actually, it could be both. Given you. Yep. Yes, probably.
He sounds very careless about...
Cut down on the drinking, pal. In fact, cut off.
Abstinence could have immediate positive effects on your health.
That's because you're hungover. Even the radio waves coming from your direction. That's the tiny vessels pulsating from high blood pressure, stupid officer. You might be the busy kind. It's not life-threatening.
It certainly does not help with aiming.
And you survived it. Even better. Anything else? I wouldn't worry about that. Officers your age have coronary trouble with all the damage you've been dealing yourself with drugs and alcohol. And what else? I'm not a brain doctor.
It's hard to say if he doesn't believe you, or doesn't.
What? You want me to do blood work for you again? Tell you just how bad things really are across the board? You want the real, honest-to-God truth? Stop drinking, eat magnesium and vitamin D. And no, I don't want to hear a political commentary on the topic. In fact, I got to vote. It's not fucking...
Cyanoacrylate is superglue.
Anything else I can help you with, officer? No, and I doubt they'll get back to me before tomorrow morning. Just... Yes, hello? Oh, great. What? Yes, I know who you are. You're a police officer. You told me back in the whirling. You told everybody. Oh.
Real policemen have uniforms too, by the way. Where's yours? He's in plain clothes, voluntarily. It's different from not...
Uniform? I never saw you in any uniform. You had your...
You hear the call...
Anything else I can help you with, officer?
As always, it's DJ Mesh and Felicio, and you're listening to Street Freaks FM, bringing you the hottest, the nasty...
A flock of seagulls takes... Right away, the lieutenant
Someone must have been messing with the radio, or maybe it picked up a random frequency. You wanted... Oh, is that what it was?
Go for it. Turn the radio back on while it's still on the Speed Freaks effort.
Souped up motor carriage for one bad mama's boy. For the heavier foot and the freakier.
God damn it. Look, it helps me to stay alert on long nights, okay? It's a method. I'm not some kind of You would be too if you had this motor carriage. But seriously, let's...
This is Precinct 57. Can I connect it to... Just...
10-4, come in, officer. Over. Roger that. 10-10, over and out.
A metallic drawer slides out from...
Take what you need, officer. It's going...
He's clearly a little protective of his tools. But what can you do? Work? The pry bar feels nice and cold in your hand, useful for opening all sorts of doors, and the handles are long and sleek. Snap, snap. You can do good work with these. Cut chains, lock. It's robust. Lets you see things in it. The pull-out toolbox slides back. The white suede feels luxurious under the touch. And your fingers waste no time closing around the handle. Clutch disengaged. Release the handle. Clutch drops. Right foot yearns for the familiar touch of the accelerator pedal. The handle is pulled back. Somewhere deep in the cabin, you see a set of steering levers. A radio on. As you tap on the gauge, the indicator pin jerks as if startled. It's in the large...
There's no use pressing the heat button.
Translation. We're not going anywhere right now.
gander and a hunter and a gatherer feel like...
A simple little cadence. He seems to be making it up as he goes.
From another planet. You sure are, my man. It's the jam, my man.
The air from the east is thick with the smell of crude oil.
It's a traffic jam for the ages. Harbor gates up the street are shut tight. No explanation given. Workers on strike. Meanwhile, we're all stuck here in long-haul limbo for days upon days upon... Yeah.
It's official. He too agrees. This
feels like forever. Like I was born on this here roundabout and this was all I ever knew. Just me and the metal and the tires.
Mazout is an antiquated term for heavy fuel oils. This man has a barely suppressed performative streak. Or he just likes unusual words. Or both.
Yeah, imagine. So tell me, what do you need? He ain't one of us drivers. I know that. All accounts.
It's easy to see he's telling the truth. He's kept his nose out.
Analyzing the fundamental structural and psychological conditions of being stranded in the midst of a sea of motor lorries and their sad, despondent chauffeurs. A sense of surprise there ain't more bodies hanging from more... It's like, whatever's going on over at the dock.
Going on strike would probably help you dodge a bullet or two.
Maybe you should. Cops don't...
The RCM is a self-managing organization that operates on donations. We promote our own... Okay, but do continue. You were asking about the strike?
Some pretty wild stuff, I hear. Like a giant new power crane in half the company? I forget what exactly. I've heard talk there's a company rep in town too. Like a strike negotiator type.
Ah, yes, from the Wild Pines. We'll meet.
They want to keep that money flowing in, my man.
He doesn't blame them, but he's not on their side.
Anything else? Yeah, this ain't really my area of expertise. Us lorry drivers. Camionneurs. You still hang around here waiting for this mess to end. Most have scurried off somewhere, to get drunk or high. Not my thing. Chasing transient pleasures is a drag these days. I prefer the examined life now. Thinking, reflecting, observing.
He tries his best to look nonchalant, but there's a rigidity in him, as if trying to conceal something warm and deep.
Oh, high-grade narcotics.
Relax. He's merely joking.
Can't even get a few jokes past you, my man. I've got another haul of found cargo. Mostly sporting goods. They usually get shipped to Grodd in the Occident. Though we've been making headway in the Il Moran market lately. We're pals and all, but I can't just freely hand out the merch. Not unless they've a legalized sport. This rockin' beauty. Sure is. Like a rash you can't get rid of.
A motor lorry, also called a camion, on Caillou and neighboring islands.
Good eye, my man. Yup, she's an old one, but reliable. Me and her spent a long time together. Not unless they've a legalized sports...
The man taps his fingers rhythmically against his arm. Ease into it. Don't go too far. This seems like a personal matter.
You really are the law, aren't you? I get that being bluntly observant and inquisitive comes with the territory, but it certainly doesn't help with your...
Maybe the full-on, direct approach wasn't correct.
Don't be a stranger.
An intricate web of blue lines. It still kind of looks like a map of the stars in the night. Gone. For you to discover. Someone who knows about history could tell you. The man before you is naked, but for a pair of underpants and white boots. His skin is marbled with The man before you is naked. The hangman's knot. This is a steel reinforced.
The local harbor uses 6 rotors to shuffle containers around. I get a noose is what that ladder can't.
Could be. The shape of the branch support. The cadaver hangs from the cargo bay. As you know, this is a trick. Only the lower extremities are. The cadaver slowly twists.
Of course. You have questions. Come back later, Copo. Amuse yourself. Of course. You have questions. Come back later, Copo.
So you tried to kill Kuno's girl? What?
Not all of us. Act like...
No one's moving anywhere. Do this shit again. Kuno knows where you sleep. The pig who fucked his window up. I'm gonna climb in through... But you and Kuno are good for now, pals.
The determination in his voice leaves little room for doubt in his sincerity.
One word out of you, pig shite.
You hear the Kuno?
And you're back in... The fuck about... Kuno doesn't give a shit. Kuno's fuck gimp's got one big thing wrong with him. Look at him. Fucking... Kuno doesn't give a shit about that freak armor. Kuno threw that shit away. Kuno tried to get the helmet on. Kuno kicked that shit in the sea, rugby style. Kuno tried to... Kuno kicked that shit in the sea. Yeah, that shit means... You wanna fuck on someone about that armor? Go fuck the mustached union fuck. The jolly troubadour shit at the gate. Yeah, cocking boot. You know that jolly union cow fucker? Came around talking about cows or some shit?
Yes, you met him at the gates. The one with the boots and the jolly smile.
Yeah, he's the one you want to talk to. He's fucking crazy about that armor shit. Come on.
Curious, my liege. Why did Kuno feed you this information?
Yeah, Kuno's doing...
Still, seems suspicious. He may have it in for that guy. Or you may be paranoid.
Fuck you, talk.
He says you're stupid, Kuno. They want to make you stupid again.
Oh, did Kuno make your shit sniffing harder? Obstruction of shit sniffing?
You hear the lieutenant hum.
Get lost.
Right, Pig? This is... Look at that fucking... Fuck this...
The lieutenant.
It's a trap, Kuno! Don't climb!
Kit is a pejorative term used to describe people of South Seminese or Erie-Opagite descent.
Look, Kuno doesn't explain shit.
Yeah, what was she doing in the greenhouse in March? Fish is sometimes used to fertilize the soil a few weeks before planting something. Yes, it seems suspicious. You don't like things being like that. Suspicious.
That's just some shit.
He's hiding something.
Pig, if Kuno...
But it is not hidden, is it, sire? You picked up on it. You should examine the part.
Yeah, what? Yeah? Yeah,
It's always Kuno, never I. Clearly the kid's using the third-person perspective.
Kuno doesn't do that.
Watch out, Kuno! He's trying to fiddle you! He's gonna put his hands on you! Help! Pig's got Kuno! Help! Rape!
Everyone can hear. You need to get the hell out of here before.
Escalate, Kuno! His dick is out! You're
Pig's in here, Kuno!
How did we get here? How did this happen? This makes no sense. There may still be a way out. Just appeal to his reason.
Fucking logical! No!
The nearly psychopathic way they could slip in and out of the act.
No one?
Help! The pig's gagging it!
You put him up to this yourself.
Listen to your friend. Kuno owns the fat ass. Help! The RCM is trying to fuck Kuno! Help! He's flashing Kuno! He's showing his genitals. Look.
For emphasis, a ghost is saying this. A shit-eating psych...
I know you wanted to hit me. You got that I'm gonna fuck...
Relax. He can't read your mind. There's a dead body, remember. That's what you were doing here. You're a cop on a case.
I know what you thought. I'm gonna fuck that Kuno up. I'm gonna shut that shit down. You know, you're not...
Kuno turned you into his...
No, you're not.
Bitch, you're gonna be in this shit with Kuno...
A peepo is a type of hat, by the way.
You don't talk to me about my fucking peeper. You don't know where I come from.
Okay. Kuno is...
Click, 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 click! Can't believe you didn't take the shot. Fucking cow.
Her knuckles have turned white, holding on to that fence. This trash container is locked. The sliding... Maybe you're prioritizing it.
All we could ask...
He might also have information. This is better than the pry bar idea. This trash container is locked. The sliding lid has a padlock that says... This trash container is locked. You stick the pry bar into the fissure beneath the lid and push down. It doesn't take... Don't. Maybe you shouldn't. Just the feeling. A warning from some part. The smell of rotten food rises to greet you. You see soggy cartons, dirty rags, and organic waste.
We're just in time. This hasn't been emptied for over a week.
You see milk and egg rest with one broken egg in it. Some pasta wrap. You've done this before. The movements are recorded in your elbows, the methodology in your fingers. You're used to this. No, searching for a box falls into pieces in your hands. Batiste Soleil cereal. There are plastic pasta packages below. Among the threadbare kitchen towels, something has the legs of the slime-covered jeans.
The victim's clothes? Cadaverine odor is faint. Drop them in here. Guitar-marked blue jeans. Pockets empty or emptied. He wore them with a belt, too. A white belt.
Something slimy catches your eye. A drab, long-sleeved shirt, olive-colored, appears from the food.
This is a military-type overgarment. No label.
The rest of the rags are just kitchen variety waste. A yellow old mug that catches your eye.
All right. We should go to Gart again and ask if he knows who put the clothes in the trash. It could be as simple as someone from the hostel cleaning the yard. Or... not really. All we know is the victim's clothes are in the trash.
The fuck's he on about?
It's just organic waste, cold and slimy. What's this? A blue piece of plastic sticks out from the apple peels. It's shiny. They look badly damaged, but you can still make out forms and notes, written in a man's handwriting.
Officer. Yes, it is. Look. This plastic has the RCM street grid on it. You've even got an autopsy form. If you don't mind me asking, how did this get in the trash? Boring. Try dangerous. You should do a thorough inventory of that. Be sure some has not fallen into the hands of the RCM. It would also not hurt to start taking notes on the case. Now, tell me what your eagle eyes see. Or are we...
Some items, such as the ledger you found, are interactable. Go to your inventory and...
You pick out a broken mug with an oddly racist depiction of the yellow, only in its... The container sounds a muffled gong.
That's one thing off the list. I think we got it all.
The smell of rotten food rises to greet you. You see soggy cartons, dirty rags, and organic waste. The container sounds a muffled gong. It's the ledger you found in the trash. A pitiful cabbage of white and yellow papers hanging from plastic board, barely held to... There's a piece of toilet paper, or is it cleaning tissue? It's a metaphor. It's just toilet paper sticking to the back of the plastic clipboard. You can take it off if you want it to be kitchen. It's not though. It's toilet paper. Still wet, the toilet paper, I mean kitchen tissue, sorry, peels off the plastic easily. All you have to do is shake it off your finger and voila, the ledger. An aluminium block runs the width of the board, biting down on the paperwork. Its crocodile teeth are the only thing keeping the papers together. A regular pencil, the tip worn down to nothing, has been attached to the clip. The surface is interrupted by a silvery sticker. It's rectangular, sparkling, looks like an official mark, made to be low visibility outside the right circumstances.
What? That thing. It's a halogen watermark. We use... It depends. Aside from an anti-counter...
Maybe yours will have how many cases you've solved.
Any capable light with the right wavelength. All RCM vehicles have had lights.
This means you can read the watermarks if you just... While a bunch... They're not exactly white. They're yellowed in patches by sunlight and alcohol, and covered in dense blue handwriting. Once in a while, there's a red stamp that exclaims, "Case files, commit to paper." The case files themselves are plenty. You count more than 100 sodden, crumpled up, earmarked pages. Work, strife, poverty, the Jamrock Quarter. These are handwritten logs of investigations dating back to January 51. This is the middle of March. You have attempted 2 cases a week. What do you mean? Is that all?
Huh? 2 complex cases to undertake is a lot, yes. You really... 2? That's a lot. I didn't mean to say you are making mistakes, by the way. I prefer a normal caseload.
Like a fan of gills, the checkered papers dry in your hand. The handwriting is extremely dense, if mostly illegible. The notebook is annual. It says 51 on what remains of its cover. A molten strap of cardboard. Everything prior to... Yes, it appears you employ a, shall we say, robust yet literary system. Each a title, one might say even. One that draws inspiration from snoop fiction and vespertine. Yes, all caps. One is called The Next World Mural, and others appear more light-hearted. The guys on a couch in an unexpected location, and the murder at the hookah parlor. Even the rare article. It's going to take an effort to piece these case files together, but it can be done.
You mean the alphanumeric? Officer, precinct? Oh, you mean the titular? Yes, well... It's a holdover from the early days of the RCM, right after the revolution, when the organization had little idea how to do things. Again, in your defense, I seem to have named one... The man with the hole in... I pray his loved ones never find... Rail spiked through the head. He died. It was a workplace accident.
There is, for precisely one more. 15 pages near the end remain untouched, but once all the tasks are accomplished, the case is complete. Sadly, the ledger only comes with an old, worn-down lead pencil. The ledger only comes with an old, worn-down lead pencil. It will do, barely. But... The lieutenant looks at his blue notebook. 2 fat, shiny... He is not really saying...
Know that I give this to you with resentment.
The tasks you've completed flow out of the blue oblong pen in a brash freehand uncannily similar to the rest of the letters. The wording. Inspect the... Get the body down. Interview the cafeteria manager. It's not exactly poetry, but poetry would be out of place. A satisfying slash sounds across. You're a swashbuckler with that pen, Harry, and it feels good. Feels like things to be done and things already done. The composition of reality. This is an extremely useful tool for a detective.
No, actually. Any ideas? Great. That's great. That's actually what I was thinking too. The Hanged Man. I'm going to start calling it the Hanged Man. It's good we sorted this out.
You don't exactly close them, so much as distance yourself from the smelly papers. They're a little further from them. Yes, you can piece them together using the alphanumeric code on the margin. It always begins with HDB 41, then date of initialization and time of arrival on the scene, followed by the title. For example, HDB, why yes, your precinct number. Every last alphanumeric in the files begins with it. And these are your case files. It's safe to say HDB are your initials. That is improbable. It takes about half an hour to piece one together, using the system you've devised. Where do you want to start? This one is relatively easy to reconstruct. Overnight on 1202, a graffito, nay, a mural, appears on an 8-story. Cause of failure, rent too high. The mural is enormous. True love is possible only in the next world. For new people, it is too late for. People call it that thing and that fucking thing. It's visible for miles. In 2 days, the station's complaints desk gets clogged with requests to remove the bummer. The graffito crew is easy to track down. Only the belles-lettres have the literage of industrial paint to cover the surface. One of the graffito artists is rumored to be rich. They take responsibility for the execution, but not the design. The ideologue of the next world mural. As the case files do not show you find. The crew agrees to clean up after themselves. However, your partner, JV, is against the removal, citing public support for conservation. This leads the 9,000 people subjected to the mural's message, all of Lakeside, Central Jamrock, and Villalobos, plus half of the eminent domain, participate in the vote. Although the case begins with what appears to be a lot of rambling on the streets as to how juvenile and stupid the mural is, a staggering 78% of voters choose to keep it. Turns out the opposition were a loud minority, and that love truly is possible in the next world for new people, and it is too late for us. In any case, it appears to have been a rare case of civil activity in the court. Not much has changed in the meanwhile. In the back, you see thin, translucent copier paper, some neon yellow, then rip them from the binder and hand them out. 3. The topmost are misconduct fines. The middle one, you don't have to be an intellectual giant to do. A monetary penalization ranging from 20 to 250, but they appear pleasantly vague. These are quite sinister in tone. They give a date and time for the person to appear at the specified precinct police, all in a print so small it could be a dozen pages of thin copy paper. Bright. Yes, all that remains now is to fill those forms and hand them to people. The rest of the stinking cellulose is it's made of dark blue plastic, hard enough to beat someone to submission with. Something rattles inside, and something small inside. Light, permeables. It's not hidden per se. The compartment, the plastic shimmers like lapis lazuli, but it is not see-through. You cannot see to its center. With your hands, you 4-sized pages hang from the clip screwed to the top of the board. The 2 sides of the board appear slightly misaligned. The slides snap back into place. It should be possible to just, without resistance or 2 ticket stubs and a handmade. 2 octopuses are smiling, reaching their tentacles toward each other in the colored pencil drawings. The tickets permit access to the zoo in Revachol East. The aquarium costs extra. These let you go there too. Thin wax paper has been glued to a piece of cardboard. It smells a touch of cinnamon, the end of summer.